Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys? Sorry I'm running a couple of minutes late. Had to make a cup of coffee, get to the shower, get clean shaved. You know, all that. So, coffee's actually finishing brewing now. And I'm going to scroll back through and see what I missed here. Ah! One Polly, Blue Line Bigfoot. Ah! All colors are blue. All the time. Carlton on a dime. Thanks, Adam. Or Jake, I don't know which one it is at this time. Where is he? Algoo. One Polly says, any bee farmers out of land? If so, are there any bee farmers paying owners of land for bee real estate? Is this even a viable idea? No, actually it's going the other way around because there's a lot of, especially the stone fruits and apple fruit farmers will actually pay beekeepers to host their bees on their land so that they have extra bees for pollination. So yes, bee farmers getting paid to put colonies in farmers' fields. That is a thing. I'm not exactly sure what the pricing is. It's something I've considered, but I don't have any organic apple farms around here, and I'm not going to subject my bees to pesticides. And the apple farmers want those hives in their orchards when those apples are in blossom, and that's when their highest pesticide application is, because they're trying to prevent all those early spring diseases. And so they're going around with fungicides, herbicides, sometimes actual pesticides, and I don't want my bees exposed to any of that crap. So although I've thought about it, I don't know any organic farms that need bees here for me for what I'm doing. Also, I don't have that many bees yet, but I'm looking to expand my bees. So I hope that answers your question, One Polly. Don't be afraid to ask more. Cookie, good to see you here. Geeky, good to see you here as well. YT, hello, hello. Justin Goodearth, hello, hello. Gemini, hello, how are you? Alright, I think I'm caught up on chat. Hello, everyone. Again, I'm sorry I'm a little late. Had to make some coffee and get to a shower. I'm going to go grab that coffee quick, and then we can chit-chat. So if there's anything else you want to ask or talk about, or if you want to expand that bee colony rental conversation, One Polly, we can do that. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So how is everybody tonight? I guess we'll start with that. Put a little bit of genuine maple syrup, organic maple syrup from Maine in my coffee tonight. Loving that. That's my mom gave me this last week, along with some homemade gluten-free pancakes, spelt pancakes. Oh, they were good, especially with lots of butter and maple syrup. You suppose you're good? Well, that's good. I suppose. Yeah, oh, the maple syrup is yummy yums. Gem, One Polly. Ever hear of mycology beef feeders? Yes, I have, One Polly. There's a talk from Paul Stamets that was put out, I want to say January or February of this year. and he goes into more specifics on that. I don't know. Have you seen that talk? I see my friend Tupac have a picture of. Yes, they do. They do help the bee immune system. Yes, I've seen all of Paul Stamets's talks that I'm aware of on that particular topic because it interests me tremendously, and it's another piece of the puzzle I have to get back to and add to the farm here. Although I went to order spawn plugs this spring after I got my stimulus check. I was going to order a bunch of lion's mane and shiitake mushroom spawn in plugs from Fungi Perfecti, and they were out. And so I submitted their form to have them let me know when they're back in stock, and still nothing yet. That was back in early May, I think. So, or maybe even into April. Kind of frustrating. I was hoping to start the mushroom part of this operation off this year, and now I'm just waiting. Surfing old AliExpress for goodies. Oh, nice. I've never bought from AliExpress, but I've definitely browsed their site a bit. Yes! Right on, One Poly. I've been a fan of his since the 80s. Oh, nice. He also did a podcast a few days ago. Yeah, I caught the tail end of that. I have not had time to go back and watch the whole thing, but I plan to. Him and two other guys, I forget the other guys' names. But I caught like maybe the last half hour of that. An excellent conversation, as always, with Paul. Really windy here today. Trees are bending over. Really? Well, hope you stay safe with the wind and the trees bending over around you. That can be a little sketchy. I think my camera's not adjusted to where I'm sitting, is it? Let's try that. Yeah, that looks a little better. Kind of cold here today. I would love to talk to you one day and record it for my channel if you're up for it. Yeah, so much seems to be out of stock. So true, Jem. So true. This whole thing has just been weirdness on top of weirdness. Yeah. I think that's the one Polly was just talking about, Justin. Yeah, that was excellent. Justin shared it with me as well, and I told him I had seen like the last half hour of it, but I hadn't had a chance to go back and check out the rest. And of course, he said it was well worth it, to which of course I said, I'm sure, and I plan on it. 65 this morning. Yeah, it's cooled off a bit here recently as well. Oh yeah, the Wendell. Well, Justin knows. Beat those stems up every chance you get. The more you beat them up, the thicker and stronger the stem. The thicker and stronger the stem, the more nutrients it can transport to grow a larger plant. And also the stronger the stem. Because as a stem takes stress, you gotta remember stems are groups of cells, right? So if you look at that on a molecular level, as a stress back and forth, it's like pushing and separating those cells, and it's actually doing like minuscule damage between them, and it actually makes them respond by building stronger stems. That's a trick commercial greenhouse growers know too. Beat those plants up. Usually they have fans on them to constantly be flexing the plant. But some of the guys will even walk down the rows when they walk through the greenhouse. They'll put their arms out and just, bump down over the top of the plants to just always be bumping those stems. Your plants are getting ready to go over to the wood fence and be exposed. Ooh, are they going to take it all off, Jim? Stalks are all about 2-inch diameter. Nice. Yeah, you got some monster bushes in the yard there. I saw your test live stream the other day. Man, I wish I could just do something like that here. I wish we didn't have stupid laws here. Fans are good for indoor start for sure, from my experience. Yeah, yeah. I use them in my greenhouse too for starts. Huge difference between the starts that you have in front of fans, so that they're getting that stem strength buildup, versus the ones that you don't. Big difference. Bigly, yeah, bigly difference. Is that Adam or is that Jake that we have with us tonight? It's Adam. Awesome. How you doing? How's the northern region taking the care of you up there? How's the DAX treating you? What kind of temps are you guys getting up there? Did you get any of the rain we got down here? Mr. BLB, Mr. Frog Gigger. If you guys haven't checked out these other channels that are here, by the way, One Polly, Blue Line Bigfoot, and Justin Goodearth, check them out. Oh, and Geeky Gardens. Geeky just made jalapeno poppers. He just put up a video on jalapeno poppers today. Making me so hungry, Jack. So hungry. Can't complain. Torrential, yeah. We got pretty good rains here too. About 1.5 inches of rain here. Man, what a difference that made in things. Downpour, nice. And I understand we're supposed to get more rain next week. Ganice, as like in Guinness. Giant Guinness. Your turmeric's off the charts. I did turmeric in a 5-gallon bucket, but I didn't realize how long it takes to get a good harvest. How old is yours? Ah, thank you. Yeah, they are, it is definitely rocking. Mine is, I think this is year 3 now for those, and I haven't harvested off of them. I just keep replanting them. If you go to my channel, actually, I can probably find it. Let me see if I can find. I have a video of transplanting those, like not this one before, and man, they were monster rhizomes. I think it's this video here, but you could just search turmeric ginger. I did a transplant on both of them, but yeah, they're cranking, and I love the flowers they produce. Their flowers are pretty cool. The first time I saw that, I was just blown away. I was like, awesome. 020, as in 2 inches, or 020 as that is that a compass heading, or Gemini, or I missed something. It rained 3 days straight here last week. Finally getting dry now. Wow, 3 days straight. We only got a day, but we got a decent amount. I made a big dent in our drought. At least for plants and that sort of stuff. It didn't make much dent in low water tables. You're very welcome, One Polly. Yes, thank you. Me, Jake. I should have known. Ah, it's Jake. Okay, I kind of figured it was with the spelling, because Jake always has some weird spelling. He likes to change words. Well, yeah, so I don't know. That's that, I guess. Spinach is not doing well. I think I planted too late. Will they grow into the fall? Yeah, spinach is fairly cold hardy. And forgive me, Jem, I forget where you are again. I think Tennessee, is that right? Now, when you say not doing well, what are the signs and symptoms? I guess would be the question. Ah, thank you, Blue Line. Thank you, Jake. We likes the likes. We like them thumbs up. Great Lakes, Michigan. Right. You tell me every time, and I forget every time. I don't know. I think it's like names. I can't remember where people live. The problem is I know too many people in 2 minutes, and I just can't keep track of them all. Anyway, Michigan. Okay. So yeah, so you have similar fall to us here in New York. Similar latitude. Seem droopy even though they have enough water. Droopy, like wilty. Interesting. Trying to think what might do that. You're very welcome on the link to my cousin's farm. Yeah, I don't. Are they anywhere near you? Is it hot out here, YT? Actually, it's not bad. Today was a nice working day. Maybe 85. But a little bit of clouds on and off, and fairly dry air, clear air. So it's nice working weather. It's a little sweaty, but not bad. And then last night and tonight, and actually I think the night before last too, have been pretty cool and damp, which is nice. So we're getting a little bit of help from dew that way too. The downside of that, of course, is I know that means late summer, and I don't know. I never look forward to cold weather. Even though I enjoy the fall, I despise the winter. Which is, I guess it's my fault for living in New York. Glad Nessie's not here. He's saying droopy. Yeah, I mean the heat could be a big factor in it. Are they droopy in the evenings or mornings when it's cool out? Are they still droopy then? Heat will, yeah, that could be it, YT. Yeah, I mean I haven't grown spinach in, I don't know, probably 10 years, so it's one I got to get back to growing again. But too many things to keep up with. Many of my plants droop every afternoon. I don't think it is I think it is the high ultraviolet. Geeky, I think you need more moisture in your soil. And I'll bet you anything, some inoculants and some foliar drenches would make a huge, huge difference in your soil health, your plant health, your productivity, and especially their resistance to moisture. I think I shared that that Advancing Eco Agriculture podcast with you on, I think it was manganese, but they went into moisture and a lot of other micronutrients and their critical roles, and especially they discussed wilting and that kind of thing. They were pretty good until we got to the upper 90s. Yeah. If you're in high hot temperatures, all plants are going to be stressing like that. You think about what it would be like to sit outside in the sun all day long in 90-degree weather. That's what those plants are doing every day. Like when you go out and sit in the sun for a couple hours and you feel cooked when you come back in, think about what a plant goes through. Like I was thinking about that the other day when I was out in the sun. I was like, man, can you imagine being out in the sun all day long, just getting blasted with that radiation? Gotta go. We'll come back and re-listen. All right. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. I always appreciate your support, your questions, conversation. Have a good evening. Maybe they need little spinach kisses. That could very well be. Go out and give them some little spinach kisses, Jim. Yeah, are they in pots? Yeah. Oh, they're in pots. Oh, well, that's a big difference. Are those pots dark in color? Yeah, I mean you got extreme sun down there for sure, Geeky, but you could definitely improve your resilience to that sun heat. Also, heavy mulches on those beds would help too. A lot, like 6 or 8 inches of good dark, wet, moist mulch. Even if it's like lawn clippings or something, man, you'd be amazed what that does. Deep pots, light in color, okay, that's good. Yeah, still though, that's going to have a huge difference. See, in the soil, you have the thermal mass of the cold soil underneath, and in pots, you don't have that. So if you're getting daytime temperatures 95, by the end of the day, all the soil in that pot is 95. At very least, if it's been exposed to sunlight all day, it's probably 110. So what you have is a root system that's in a 110 degree environment. That's why, like, I don't know if you notice my pots of my potted plants here. I don't know if you've seen those videos or not, but if you have, you'll notice I let that tall grass grow up in front of the pots, and it looks like crap, but I have a reason for that, and that tall grass is there to protect those pots, because most of my pots are dark in color, from taking direct sunlight and frying those roots. So that might be a big factor in it. You could shade the pots or put something reflective on them. Yeah, yeah. If you can put them right in the ground, that's really the best thing to do. And then I'll bet you notice a huge difference when they're in the ground and they have that cool soil thermal mass. Because spinach is more of a cool weather crop to begin with, so to push it to those extremes is really gonna test its upper end. And usually, if you stress a plant like that, outside of its normal temperature range, you'll end up with either tough or bitter as a result at harvest. So, you know, if those conditions continue, so it would be good to get them in the ground and hope for a sweeter, tastier spinach. You're very welcome, Jim. Glad to help. Glad to help. Let the weeds grow around the patio plants for the same reason, because I'm lazy sometimes. Yeah, I have a smudge of lazy factor in there too, geeky. But yeah, it does. It makes a huge difference, and that's why you see me doing all this cover cropping with the buckwheat, like between my corn and stuff. Besides trying to block out weeds, the big thing is shading that soil from direct sunlight exposure, because that's how you protect your microbes and your moisture. It's amazing how much more moisture the soil holds just having that layer of buckwheat broadleaf covering it. I'm going to do another video soon on that, and we'll go through and look at soil moisture. It's really amazing the difference. So either you always want soils covered. You want soils covered with either growing plants or heavy mulches when and wherever you can. And you'll see I cheat that here with, you know, tillage and like where my basil is right now. I didn't have any mulch because it was such a dry season I couldn't even harvest mulch. So open soil up until now. And of course now, you know, the rows, the hedgerows are starting to protect their own soil area. But I raked up some more mulch today. I'm going to go back and mulch out tomatoes nice and heavy again, and then whatever's left I'm going to go and start putting between the basil rows and stuff. Get things all straightened out. So that's that. What else? What else? Did you eat that whole tray of jalapeno poppers in one shot, Geeky, or did you are you saving those and munching on them? I always put down alfalfa over my cover crop when it's ready, and then put straw over that. After that, you really don't even have to water every day. Alfalfa as in like alfalfa meal, or alfalfa as in a cover crop? And alfalfa, by the way, for those who don't know, alfalfa is an excellent nutrient, and it's full of enzymes. You ever make a tea with that, Justin? You ever made alfalfa tea? Because that stuff is freaking amazing. Alfalfa is the one I used to amend my soil with. I just didn't budget any funding into that this year, and put it that way. I have a very limited budget, so I always have to figure out, what am I doing this year? It's got to be new. It's got to be foliar feeds for me. That's the one that has the most effect for cost, highest ROI, I guess is the way you'd put it. Mulch with oak leaves. Oh, oak leaves are awesome. But this is late in the season. A lot of it is broken down. We'll add more next month when I start planting my winter crop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's true too. When once you get that soil biology going, that's the other side of it. Now you start going through mulches really fast. I saw that here last year on the tomatoes. I had, I think, 8 inches of like heavy, wet, like straw mulch. Not really straw. It was like chopped grass hay kind of that I picked up. But it was really heavy, and by this spring it was gone. Like the biology just sucked it down. Amazing. That was like, I think I put that on the end of September, and over the winter it cooked down. By April it was just bare ground with like earthworm castings on it. It was amazing. Poppers lasted about a week. Wow, you did better than me. I would have pigged out on those. They look delicious. Alfalfa hay. Ah, okay. Yeah. Crimson clover and nettles for cover crop. Oh, nice. Yeah, crimson clover is one I want to get seed for again. That's what I want to add to my cover cropping rotation. You can buy bales of it usually at your local farmers market. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're selling hay at our farmers markets, but I'm sure I could find a local farmer who has alfalfa hay. But I'm pretty sure they're probably getting $8 or $10 a bale for it around here. What are you paying for it there, out of curiosity? That's right, Jake. Just send it. Just gonna send it. Just gonna send it. When I saw your video today, Geeky, I was really disappointed in myself because I didn't put any jalapeno peppers in this year. Not a single seed. And like it's kind of late now. I guess I could start a couple and bring them into the greenhouse. But I miss them. That's a treat I usually really enjoy. And I just didn't even get around to getting them started. $15 for a 125-pound bale. Oh, wow. Wow. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Yeah, here I think a 125-pound bale. I don't even know if you could get a bale that size here. You probably could get 60 or 70 pounders, and they'd probably go 10 or 20. Ooh, yeah. Goes a long way. Yeah, 125 pounds, that's a lot of alfalfa hay. That's a lot of mulch. That's awesome. And alfalfa is excellent, full of nutrient. Alfalfa, for those who don't know it, alfalfa is an excellent nutrient miner. Its tap roots will go down to like 18 or 20 feet. Might be more than that. They go real deep and they'll mine nutrients. It's awesome stuff. Well, that's an awesome resource. I wish we had that here. I wish we had that and seaweed, but I'm not near the ocean. Farm, is your greenhouse big? No. I guess to me it's very small. It's 24 by 12 and about 8 foot high in the peak of the hoop. So not huge. I do want to put in a bigger greenhouse, but that has to be planned and done correctly. Like anything big that I build, it's got to be a long-term thing. I gotta know I can get my money back out of it. And people always laugh at you when you go to the coast because you collect the seaweed. Well, they laugh at you, but then they go pay $50 a gallon for for kelp meal. So, you know. Yeah, I'd love to be closer to the ocean for so many reasons. But I'm just not. But yeah, I'm going to try rye as one of my cover crops this year, Justin. And then plant rye here in the fall, build a real heavy, keep the soil covered, growing green stuff as long as I can into the winter. It'll come back again in the spring. And then when it goes into flower, I'm going to go through with a roller crimper and crimp it down into a mulch mat, and then plant directly through that mulch mat. I'm going to try that. They're doing that on big scale farms with heavy equipment. I want to see if I can do it at my scale with my little lawnmower equipment. Because if I can scale it, boy, that'll make a world of difference. That's like so many steps that I can take out of gathering mulch, and not only that, so many beneficial things soil wise, to not be tilling, to be growing mulch in place, which is also building soil, down the list. So that's where I'm trying to shoot for now. I'm putting buckwheat in all those plots right now, with the intent to get a cover crop, weed suppression, nectar and pollen flow for the bees for fall, and then I want to seed through that with the rye and roll the buckwheat down over the rye seed to germinate the rye out of. So basically, hopefully never till again, if I can do it right and get it to work like I hope and think it will. Never thought about why. I did try barley last year. Got a little out of hand. Grows a little too tall for my taste. Okay. Yeah, barley's one I haven't played with yet. That's on my list too. I also want to look at millet, oats. Oats is supposed to be really good for unlocking phosphorus and potassium in the soil, as is buckwheat, more on phosphorus than potassium. But I want to get at least 3 species of cover crops going eventually, and then get better and better at refining that system so I can kind of relay crop and cover crop and basically, never till again and just be rolling a cover crop down, planting through, and just building soils. Because I think that not tilling and not breaking up that soil biology and then building soil with the cover crops, the foliar feeds, and the inoculants, I think I can make for some explosive growth. And I've already seen my soils here in like 3-4 years just go shades and shades and shades darker with what I'm doing. And I can't wait to see, as I improve the synergistic stacking of the systems, how much faster and better it's going to be. And then I can start scaling up once I have that figured out. Yeah, rye is supposed to be a good one though. Look into the rye for sure. Barley got too tall for your taste, huh? And now, did you plant that? Was that a fall planting, and then it came through the winter to the spring? I'm trying to remember whether barley. I think barley's an overwinter too, right? Like wheat and rye and. So was it too tall in the spring when you went to only looking to use into my no-till beds? Yeah, but could you go along with like a 4x8 sheet of plywood, drop it down over those when they're too tall, cram them down, and make like a flattened mat, and then just plant right through the flattened mat as your cover crop mulch right in place? years. I think I'm confused. So it was the next spring, and it was too tall. I could, but I also plant a cover crop in the spring to cover with the alfalfa and straw during mid-season. Ah, okay. Yeah, I mean, nothing beats growing plants on the soil for soil health. Like, you're photosynthesizing and sequestering carbons into the soil versus you're just rotting down material. Anytime you're actively photosynthesizing, you're taking gains. So I can't argue with that. I have huge weed pressures here, so and most of my stuff I'm not putting in established plants. I really like to direct sow whenever I can. The greenhouse is nice for starting stuff, but when you start stuff in the greenhouse, you got to care for it and maintain it. You got to get it through that critical spring season, and so you're watering a lot as they get bigger, and then you got to make a transplant at the right time if the season works with you. I really prefer to just direct sow when the weather has decided to cooperate and take explosive growth right from germination right on out. But, there's always a compromise. Like this year, I waited till the season cooperated before I even started tomato plants, and so I didn't even get tomato plants transplanted until like July 1st, I think, or like end of June, maybe the 28th, 27th. And so now I have tomato plants that are, they're 3 foot high, just starting to pop flowers, whereas normally now I'd be like probably harvesting my first big beefsteak tomato sandwich that would just put me out. What are you gonna do? I just covered my cover crop with alfalfa and straw 2 weeks ago, so now I'm receiving the cover crop, but I am also reseeding the cover crop. I think that's what you mean. But I also planted mushrooms in the straw as well, so we'll see where that comes up first. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's one thing I'm a danger to myself with that. I always I want to plant one crop and then I want to plant another one right on top of it, and then I want to do something else and I have to wait a minute. If I put anything else on top of that, none of these are going to come out. Find another spot to put that in. Can't eat tomatoes for some reason, but you love ketchup. They give you indigestion. Reseeding. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Justin. Autocorrect couldn't take the truth out of your words. The AIs are trying to change what we're saying, but they can't. We refuse. Yeah, okay. Funny you mentioned that, Cookie. My mom went through a period where my mom loves tomatoes in all forms. Fresh, in sauce, in salsa. She loves them. As do I. I love tomatoes. I can eat a tomato like an apple right off the plant, and I love it. I like a little salt with it, but if I don't have salt, it's not a big deal. Anyway, she went through a period where she couldn't even eat a tomato. Every time she ate a tomato, she would be sick all night from it. And that period passed, and she can eat tomatoes now again. But it's interesting that she went through a period where she was allergic to them, like highly allergic to them. Like she would get really sick, break out in hives and rashes. It was bad. I have an ulcer, so I had to get rid of any acidic foods. Well, funny thing is, ketchup technically is more acidic than a tomato because ketchup has a lot of vinegar in it. But I wonder if it's apple cider vinegar, and maybe that's having a positive effect as a result. Family eats them off the vine. Yeah, I like them fresh off the vine. My favorite is toasted with cheddar cheese and fresh basil and oregano and rosemary and whatever else fresh from the garden. Toast those. Like cut a nice, like 3/4 inch slice of beefsteak. Toast it in the oven with. Thank you, Bomber. Toast it in the oven with cheddar cheese on one side, tomato on the other, and the basil and the other herbs mixed in, and then slap it together into a sandwich. Oh my God! And if you add bacon, it's even better. What's going on, Bomber? How you doing? Just coming back from some woods time? You're trying to make a Carlton blush. Oh yeah, it's a killer sandwich cookie. Killer. It's the reason that I grow the crimson beefsteak tomatoes every year. It is the reason I grow them. Because you can't beat a tomato that's grown in high nutrition. It's amazing the flavor difference. The last couple of years, early season, I've gone out and gone to a farm stand and got a tomato, hoping to get a decent tomato. They're not bad, but they're not what this is. Whoop whoop. You guys ready for the portal tonight? The big bad portal? Tonight's what, a 1 hour show, right? Thursday's a 1 hour, right? I think. Yeah, those tomatoes right there. Them's the ones. I was listening to a Sasquatch encounter. Gap, you were on tonight. Glad I made the end. No worries. And glad you made it as well. Yeah, I think it's 1 hour. Yeah. I was at a pizza place today and saw something that would have had you fuming. Oh, geez, Cookie, she just got here. Don't get her fuming. What's wrong with you, man? Can't you let a girl sit down a spell? Poutine pizza. Yeah, I was telling everybody earlier, Bomber, I had my mom brought me some maple syrup last week, along with some pancakes, spelt gluten-free pancakes, and I had those as dessert the other night. Oh, they were killer with some maple syrup and butter. So good. Justin. Yeah, they were good, Bomber. It's how spelt is spelt. That's right, YT. That's another one I want to add to my grains list. I want to grow some spelt. Which that reminds me, that's supposed to be planted in September. Maybe I should pick a block and put some in. I'd have to get viable seed. There's too many things to think about and keep up with this time of year. Our grandkids here for a couple days and they're everywhere, tormenting our chickens and breaking things. Yeah, they're good for that. Yeah, they're nice, aren't they, YT? The gluten-free flours. My parents order they order flours and grains from a company out of Pennsylvania that has a huge supply of all organic stuff. Very nice, high quality grains. Pajamas made of industrial Velcro. Well, yeah, I guess that would work. Just let him get stuck to the carpet. I spilt the spelt and the spoot. Almond flour. Oh, that's nice. Expensive though, isn't it? Comparatively. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. The almond milk is good too. I love that stuff. But again, super expensive. I've only ever had it when it's been given to me. I never got out and bought it because it's expensive. Less expensive than keto bread. Well, yeah. You know what else is really good that I've only had in cookies is acorn flour. Oh man, that stuff is just another level of delicious and loaded with protein. It's amazing stuff. But it's a lot of processing acorns to make acorn flour. And you gotta catch them before the bugs and the squirrels and all that stuff. Almond silk milk, yeah, that stuff's pretty good too. What else have I had? There's another milk that I've had, not almond, but another one. I forget what it is. Something similar to that that's also good. And then there's a couple of different blends on the market too. I think I've had a couple of those too. Dough cookies with chocolate chips and nut butter sounds amazing. Yeah, it does. You're making me hungry. Ah. You can make pasta out of almond as well. Huh. I imagine that would be a weird flavor for pasta though, with the almond in there. Worms get to the acorns. Yeah, they can. Here the squirrels take off with them before you ever... Although last year there were a lot of them on the ground. I just didn't have time to pick them all up. But yeah, you take them and you got to soak them for like 3 days and rinse them. Like you rinse them like every 6 or 12 hours. You got to leach the tannins out of them. But man, amazing flour. My friend that made it, I think they were peanut butter cookies with the acorn flour. Oh, man. Amazing. Now I want cookie like peanut butter cookies. Oh. peanut butter cookies with macadamia nuts in them. What else can we put in there? Oh yeah, the chocolate chips, the cacao chocolate chips, and I mean, you know, let's just go hog wild on it, huh? We got a squirrel stealing people's pumpkins at Halloween, dragging them off. Must have weighed 2 times the squirrel's body weight. Yeah, they love them. That's funny. Dreamt there were puffball mushrooms all over my forest. Hope that's my forest talking to me, telling me it's time. I hope so. A special cookie, yeah. Yeah, throw a little can of butter in there while we're at it. I mean, you know. Almond cornbread with jalapeno earlier. I bet that's good. Yeah, I've made some jalapeno cornbread before too. That was pretty good. The other thing I made was a tomato and like herbs and spices cornbread with my blue flour corn, fresh ground blue flour from my corn with fresh ground dried herbs blended in. Oh, that was killer with a little bit of butter. All right, well, let us know, Bomber. I hope you find abundant mushrooms when you go out. Yeah, squirrels are cute. They can make a damn mess, but they are cute little creatures. We have a bunch of them around here. I always enjoy watching them as long as they're not doing damage. Special cookie means something different over here. Uh-oh. And with that, we're headed for the paranormal portal in about 4 minutes. Excellent intro. Lots of things mean different over here. Your holy basil's coming up, oh yeah? Have you gotten any other seeds of any sort there, Miss Bomber? Thank you, Geeky, on the link. Much appreciated. Probably not yet, huh? The mail is pretty slow these days. I'll be checking the mail tomorrow, though. Okay. Yeah. I'm anxious to see you try the Asian sweet Thai basil. It's phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff. One of my favorite basils. By miles. Mail is running 2 weeks behind. It took 2 months for Nessie's candy package to get to me. 2 months! I mean, granted, it was coming from New Zealand, so there's that. But, like, yeah, even stuff in the mail's been slow. Yeah, you should, Bomber. Throw up a fluorescent light and grow it right under the fluoro. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Justin. We will see you in the portal, my friend. Thanks for coming over. Thanks for the support. Much appreciated. Still haven't got you New Zealand goodies. Not yet? What's going on up in Canada, eh? Thanks, YT. Yeah, I guess it's about time to close this stream out. Call it a night. I thank you for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Tying up some trees. I'll bet you're tying up some monsters. Monsters! Awesome, Justin. We'll see you in the portal, my friend. Oh, my holy basil's rocking. I don't think I put up my latest update. I'll have to go shoot another one because now it's a day later and it's bigger. Anyway, Geeky, thank you. Appreciate it. Cookie, Bomber, Gem, Justin, YT. And when Polly was here, Gemini. I hope I haven't missed anybody. I probably have. If I missed you, I didn't mean to. I'll see you guys in the portal. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network, and we'll see you Sunday night or next Thursday. Party on!